Good afternoon, vinyl community. North Carolina vinyl picker is here, and he's a little sore. Been doing a lot of walking in the woods. Some people call it hiking, but yeah, I think I need to get better shoes. I need to get a backpack, a small backpack, and some water, because I've been going out 2 or 3 miles, and it gets a little dry out there walking around. Might even take a pack of crackers or an occasional peanut butter and jelly sandwich, maybe, if I'm going to be out for a while. But it's fun, and be out in nature and seeing all the birds and flowers and streams and in North Carolina. I've got to figure out how to get stuff off of my phone onto here, so that way there I can put stuff up. So if anybody out there has got any ideas how to do that, let me know. Top 10 albums I want. Hatfield in the North, The Rotters Club on vinyl. Like to get the first couple albums by the Strawbs. Camel's first album. Gentle Giant's first album. Nice copy of The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway. Alice Cooper's School Out with the Pink Panties. Con with Steve Hillage. I need an album called Space Shanty. That's on vinyl. David Bowie, first album, Young Americans. I need to find a good copy of Young Americans. What else we got on here? Why Can't Tori Read? Tori Amos's first band, original press, OG. I like to get Marillion, Clutching at Straws, their fourth album with Fish. Was that 10? How about one more? Nectar, Journey to the Center of the Eye. I'd like to get all those on vinyl. I know some of you kids out there are not going to know who those bands are, but some of you will. And I got, what else we got going on this week? We got some new subs, and I got up to 300. So I want to thank everybody out there for getting me up to 300 subs. I really appreciate it, and it's been a lot of fun. I'm really been enjoying it, and then it's make some comments in the and I go ahead and I'll get back to you. You get those comments in there, and then this what makes me want to continue on doing this is some nice comments from you people and things that you'd like to see me do. Let's do some shout outs real quick. Might as well go ahead and get those out of the way. Let's talk about Tony, 2 from the Trunk, Stoner Stash Box, Dave the Pickup Artist, JT's Music Room. I just did his contest to 1,000. The Happy Hippie, Rod, Rachel the Music Man, Bob Bradley, Elliot Cruz, George Allen, LPs and CDs. Glenn Calloway from the Basement, The Old Goat Vinyl, Harry's Music Room, Jack's Track Record, Melinda Murphy, Michael Pilmer, Naz the Nomad, University of Vinyl, Tuco, Speaker's Corner, Robert's on My Turntable. How about Rob the Wax, Randall Weaver, Psych Derek, Prog Hat, The Static Traveler, Pigeon Derek, Oddbox Topper, Norman Maslow, and Noble Records. Those are the ones I wanted to shout out to. That's a handful there. Thank you for my new subs, and I got some new finds to show you. And I got talk about next week. I'm going to show you an album that I'm picking up in Hickory this week. It's a Japanese pressing of the Moody Blues, Caught Live +5. It was a live album they did, and then at the end they put in 5 additional songs. It's when the Moody's broke up for a time, and they did some solo albums, and so they came out with that double set with their best of, and then they had 5 extra songs, I guess, after Seven Soldier, and I guess they had some extra stuff. And then when they regrouped and they come out with the next album, Into the Outdoor, what's it called? That was Led Zeppelin, right? Octave. I went ahead and seen Slipping in the Slide Zone is what I'm thinking of. I seen that Octave tour. I remember seeing that in, I believe it was in the Hampton Coliseum in Virginia. Great show. Mike Pender was there, and that was the last time he quit. After that, he left again. So I don't think that Patrick Moraz was on that tour. Correct me if I'm wrong down there in the bottom somewhere. I think Mike Pender toured. He had a fear of touring, or he didn't care for touring, and so that's why he left the first time. He's the keyboard player. Patrick Moraz took over afterwards, and then they had a falling out later on. As most bands do, they're dysfunctional. Okay, so let's not dwell on the negative. Let's talk about the positive. Positive is top 10 45s according to Discogs. I did my top 10 or top 20 albums according to Discogs, and it blew up as far as the amount of people. I have over 3,000 views on that. So let me see if we can get a couple hundred on this one. Number one 45 that I own came from a set of 45s that I bought in a antique store not too far from my house. And the first one is Pearl Jam. It's called Love Reign Over Me. I'm thinking it's a takeoff on The Who, but I could be wrong. But these are all Rockin' in the Free World. And yeah, it's Pete Townsend. It's a cover they did with, and then Rockin' in the Free World is the B-side on here. And this particular 45 is $59.99. And if you add up the 5 Pearl Jams that I found together in this bundle, I think I only paid like $15 for all 5 45s. And then when I got them home, and then I put them aside, and then later on, when I was putting my 45s into Discogs, I noticed that these were all pretty pricey. These are all Christmas 45s, I believe, like maybe from their fan club or something. I'm not a big Pearl Jam fan, but I'm just going to hold on to them, I suppose. Pearl Jam, Love Reign Over Me, $59.99. That's number one. Number 2 coming in. How about the Kingsmen? Louie Louie. This comes in at $40. It's a good shape. It's in pretty good shape. It's got some luster on there. The Kingsmen is a band. This got to be from the 60s. This says 64, 65, 66 on there. So it's on Wand Records. Bet Bob Vinyl probably know more about this 45 than I do. Louie Louie, the Kingsmen, number 2, $40. Coming in at number 3, Tori Amos. We were talking about her, but this is her first band. Why can't Tori read? If anybody out there has any 45s or LPs of this, let me know so I can purchase them from you if you do not like them or you're not a Tori Amos fan. But yeah, why can't Tori read? And this is a promo on both sides of the same song. And this 45 is worth $40. I got it off Discogs for about $8. I couldn't hit the button fast enough, being the big fan that I am. Then I found this one in a Goodwill for $1, or it might have been 50 cents. I think it was $1. Maybe it was 50. We'll call it 50 cents. It's worth $33 though. It's a promo of Cinnamon Girl, Neil Young, and the B-side is Sugar Mountain. Yeah, one is from the Sugar Mountain is live at the Canterbury House. It's a live recording. And then Not For Sale promo. Neil Young with Crazy Horse. From Everyone Knows This Is Nowhere, Cinnamon Girl. And this Cinnamon Girl is worth $33. Next one is another one of them Pearl Jams. Christmas 99. Comes in at $30. This one has Strangest Tribe and Drifting on it. This is the Christmas single from 1999. Pretty cool, huh? This one here is one of my favorites. Cool on Your Island. This is again from the Why Can't Tori Read album. And this is a $30 45. I got this off of eBay too. And this one here has got Heart Attack at 23. If you haven't heard this album, Why Can't Tori Read? Pick it up. It's awesome rock and roll. And it's from the 80s, 88. We got, Cool on Your Island. That's coming in at $30. How about some Olivia? Picture disc, $29.99. Picture disc. Picked this up at a record show here in Charlotte a month or so ago. I think I paid $10 for it. But you know I love me some Olivia Newton-John, and both sides are the same. It's a promo 45, and on the back tells a little story. Deeper Than the Night. Again, that's $29.99. How about some Gong? Planet Gong, $27.59. Opium for the People. Do you want to stay hooked? Gong. Planet Gong. I was in a record store not too far from here, about a half-hour drive, and I bought some posters from him. They were German posters. One's Tangerine Dream, and the other one is Passport. A couple of jazz fusion bands, or Tangerine Dream's not really fusion, but it's a German band nonetheless. And he said that, hey, I got a 45 here. The guy gave me two when I got those. And he said, oh, $5. I said, okay, no problem. I like Gong. That's a pretty cool 45. $27.57. Olivia Newton-John again, a little more love. Japanese pressing, $26.65. Got this at the flea market too. I got this at the record show. Same day I got the picture disc of Olivia. And another Pearl Jam. Someday at Christmas. Pearl Jam. And this is Someday at Christmas, and the B-side is Eddie Better Man. And this came out in, I don't know when, 2004. This is the Christmas single from 2004. So all of these are pretty old. They all back to from late 90s and the early 2000s. All you Pearl Jam fans out there are probably drooling over these. Or maybe have never seen them before. So that's it. That's all. That's the top 10. Top 10 45s in my collection. Let's go ahead and show some records. Show these 45s first. We'll run through these. I'm already up to about 12 minutes. How about Stevie Nicks? I Can't Wait. That's a cool 45. It's from Rock a Little. And picked this up the other day, I think it was yesterday, at an antique mall for $3. I like Stevie Nicks. And then I got a four-pack of Olivia Newton-John 45s off of eBay. And I think I paid $7, and the guy paid for the shipping, which is a steal because these are hard to find in the wild. And if you do, they're all beat up, and they don't have the covers, the picture covers. So there's Make a Move on Me. That's what Olivia's saying there. How about Living in Desperate Times? How about Soul Kiss? These are all $7 for all four of these. Twist of Fate, Olivia. Again, my wife says I have so many albums in 45 because I don't pay a lot. You're cheap, she said. She goes, you don't pay much for stuff. That's why you got so much. Oh, let's look at some CDs real quick, and then we'll get into the meat. We'll get into the vinyl records. How about some Stevie Nicks? Rock a Little. We just saw the 45. Here's the CD. Paid $1 for all of these, for each of these. I didn't have this one, and these were all in really good shape. Jim Croce. I have the LP now. I have the CD, Photographs and Memories. Oh, Jim Croce. He gives me a tear in my eye every time I listen to him. Kansas Leftoverture. Great album. Nice to have it on CD. Billy Joel, The Bridge. I pretty much got my whole Billy Joel collection up from like midway through the career to the end. I need to get some of the early ones. These later ones are easy to find for $1. How about some Genesis without Steve Hackett, without Peter Gabriel? How about the Phil Collins Band? We'll call it that today. Invisible Touch. Everybody knows the album. Everybody loves the album. I love the album as well. And I'm a big Genesis fan. Still am. I even like Calling All Stations. So I like Ray Wilson. So, Invisible Touch. Fleetwood Mac, Tango in the Night. Found this one for $1. Didn't have it. Got it on vinyl, but I didn't have it on CD. And if they're mint and I pick them up and they look really nice inside, then I pick them up. And one more CD, The Other Side of Time. Merry Fall. Merry Fall was with the band called October Project. They made a couple of albums. If you don't know who Merry Fall is, if you see one of her records in the wild, pick it up. She's very good. She's an awesome artist. She redid The Dark Side of the Moon, the whole album. It's breathtaking. Her voice is just haunting. If you haven't heard of October Project, pick them up. They only did 2 albums. And then they got, I think they were on Epic, and they got, they lost their contract or whatever. And then my friend, my best friend in the world, my #1 fan, my friend that's been my friend forever, my friend John, who lives in New Jersey. We talked about making a single CD with Genesis songs after Peter Gabriel and Steve Hackett left. So this would have been from after Wind and Weathering to the end. And so he didn't have one CD. He made 3 because there's so many great songs that Genesis did after Hackett left. So he called it Hackettless Genesis. 1 disc, 2 discs, 3 discs. So it's the best of their last 5 albums or so. From then there were 3, and then you had Duke, and then you had Abacab, and then you had the Genesis album, and then you had what do you have after that? You had Visible Touch, and then We Can't Dance, and then the last album with Ray Wilson, which I doubt he added any stuff on here from that. I would have. There's a couple of really good songs on there, but yeah, they're all excellent songwriters. Even after you lose a member, like after you lost Gabriel, they still carried on. And then they lost Steve Hackett a few albums later, and they still carried on. And then they lost Phil Collins, and they carried on. And they lost Anthony Phillips early on. So, I mean, when you have that strong of songwriters in a group, you can keep pushing forward. So those are cool. I got to give those a listen. So let's go ahead and run through these real quick. Let me pull out half of them, and then I'll grab the other half. How about this one here? I found this one for $1. Old Chet Atkins. Boy, that guy can really pick a guitar. I thought this was his first album. I still think it's his first album. Just called Chet. And it's really nice shape. And I only paid, I seen it there for $1. And I wasn't going to leave it. How about Dan Fogelberg? Everybody, people be jonesing on Dan Fogelberg. Captured Angel. You can pick his stuff up in the Goodwills and stuff for $1. And that's where I got this one from. On Full Moon Records. Dan Fogelberg. The late Dan Fogelberg. He's no longer with us. He did some great stuff. How about some George Winston? This album, I saw this at the, I have the CD of this. I didn't have the vinyl album. And it's like I said before, I don't leave any Windham Hill behind. Whatever Windham Hill I pick them up, I think I got 4 or 5 copies of George Winston's Winter. I think I got 4 or 5 copies of that between the CD and a vinyl album. But they're usually 50 cents to $1. And there's some great, great artists on Windham Hill. Give them a chance. You can really get them at a decent price. How about Port Moriat? Does this say the 60s or what? This is my second copy of this. You see, I got another one up here. I got another one over there. But for $1, I wasn't going to leave it. Because that is the epitome of the 1960s right there. The Summer of Love. 60, what was that, 68, Mazzy? 69? Something like that. I was about 10, 11. Maybe 12. I was 12. How about this one? AC/DC. Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap. Found it at a thrift store for 50 cents. Didn't have a jacket. But the vinyl looked good. So I just went ahead and grabbed the jacket that was laying there and stuck it in there at the Goodwill, and then took it. My wife's she likes AC/DC. I'm not so much of a fan. How about this guy? Anybody know who this is? That's Colin Scott. Colin Scott, look at the people he's playing on here. He's got Peter Gabriel, Phil Collins, Peter Hamill, John Anderson, Rick Wakeman, and Robert Fripp all play on this album. I used to have this back in the day, then I got it again. I had it in my wants on discogs or on eBay, and it kept coming up $60, $100, $80, $45, $65. Finally, it came up $8. Bingo! There you go, $8. I waited and waited and waited. Finally got it back in my collection. It's a really good album. It's got all those superstars on there. He must have been friends. I never read the real story about that. He must have been friends with all of them, for all of them to play on this record. How about this one? Saw this one here in a at the flea market, and he had 25 on it. I said, I'll give you 20. But you know what's cool about this? Everybody out there know? Some of you don't know. Some of you do know what I'm going to show you. Tony, you know. There's the rolling paper, baby. It's the last time you've seen one of those. It's been probably 50 years since I've seen one of those. This album is 50 years old. Came out in 72. So there you go. 50-year-old rolling paper. How about Station to Station? He had this one there too. He gave me both of these albums for 25. He gave me the Cheech and Chong with the rolling paper, and he threw in the Station to Station. It's a little crinkly down here. It's got a little water. There's no mold or nothing, but the album played fine. Now I got to find Young Americans. Anybody have Young Americans out there? How about some Leo Cote? I had this album on CD. Now I found the vinyl. I think it was 50 cents. And the cover's seen better days. But the album is really nice. Tacoma Records. 6 and 12 string guitars called. I got a few more here. We're going to close up shop. How about this one? Found this one yesterday for $5. And it's the original OG with the embossed cover. That's one I didn't have. I don't have Hotel California, and I don't have Desperado. So if you have those out there, let me know. Send them to Big Chief, or North Carolina Vinyl Picker, sorry. Send them to me. How about Kano Eclipse? This is a French band, from Quebec. If you don't have this album, you need to listen to it. It's a progressive rock album. Sings in French a lot through the album, and there's a girl that sings with him, and there's a couple instrumentals on there. But that is just one of the coolest album covers I ever seen. I used to have this album back in the day, and then I went during the purge. It went, and then I found it the other day for $1. I was over in a town, went to the North Carolina Zoo, and then we stopped at a antique mall on the way home, and I went upstairs and went through some records, and I'll show you the rest of them here in a minute. This was there, and he said all the records there are $1 a piece, or 10 for $5. But I couldn't find that many. There wasn't that many bangers there. I only found 4, I think. This is the first one I found. Peter Gabriel. I didn't find this there at that place, but I did pick this up for $5 yesterday. This is his 3rd album. I have the German version of this. I didn't have the his English version of this, where he sings it in English. Great album. I listened to it yesterday. Probably haven't heard that album in 20 years. How about this one? Chris Hillman, Desert Rose. This was there for $1. This is sealed. That's a sealed copy. I should go in. This is from '84, and it's from Sugar Hill Records in Durham, North Carolina. Right up I-40 from me. I'm not going to do the wax thing and open it up. Not right now. I'm trying to close this video out. So there you go. Chris Hillman from the Byrds. Paid $1 for that. Paid $1 for this. Garden Party. Rick Nelson. Love me some Rick Nelson. I found out that I had 2 more of his records. I cleaned them up and I've been playing them too. Gotta love the garden party. Went to the garden party. Here's another one of Rick Nelson's albums. And here's another one. This one here, the cover's a little bit roached, but the album plays fine. And like Stoner said, you don't play the cover. How about Samantha Fox? Anybody out there show any love for Samantha Fox? Everybody out there know who Samantha Fox is? Well, I'll tell you, she was an artist in the 80s, and she did a lot of disco stuff, and she did a lot of pop stuff. She was like a pop star from the 80s, and she was pretty easy on the eyes as well. Samantha Fox. Found those for $1 a piece. This was upstairs in that place I was telling you. There's the number 4th one I found. Malcolm McNeil. How do you do? There's some people out there that have heard this one before too. I never heard the whole album. I've only heard that one song. It was really popular. Every once in a while you'll hear it on the radio. Tony knows this one too. How do you do? How about Bee Gees in the Can? In the Can, man. I got this off of eBay. I think I paid $5. So that's it. I'm wrapping up. 27 minutes. I want to thank everybody out there for subbing me up. If you like my shows, ring the bell, hit the button, and until next time, see my daughter made me this one here. Tales from Topographic Oceans. Yeah, buddy. She did a good job. Looks nice. That's all I got for today. I'm a little sore, like I said, so I got through it. I did the show. Hey, got it done. This was my Saturday show. I know I'm a little bit late, but been a little bit tired. And then I'm going to show you that Moody Blues one next week, and then we're going to talk about some more of the of my psych albums. I'm going to show you 10 psych albums next week, some new stuff. So until then, y'all have a good rest of your week. Y'all be safe out there. And God bless our troops. Take care.